All right, have not fans. Now, first off, I have to say that I cannot thank you all enough for that video I did called Derrick is Candace's father. At the time of this recording, that video is about to hit 50,000 views. And I know I posted that thing maybe 3 or 4 days ago, so thank you so much. But also, I want you all to stop what you're doing right now and scroll down to the description part of this video, because what I want you to do is to follow on Twitter and Instagram Keith Burke, Mr. Keith Burke, Burke. The links are in the description below. I have to say that I've had the privilege of speaking with Derrick himself on social media over the past maybe week or so. I follow him on Twitter. Ironically enough, I think it was when I recorded the Derrick is Candace's father video, and I was looking for his actor to see if I can tag him in the post, and luckily enough, he retweeted, responded, and I actually tagged him in a photo on Instagram, on my Have and Have Not Instagram, which again, a link is in the description below. And we just started talking back and forth on Instagram, and a very down-to-earth guy. Like, even while I'm recording this video, I see that he's responding to a message I sent, and I'm not making this up. Very nice guy. Derrick, his name is Keith Burke, so please do him a favor and go and follow him on social media. And very nice guy, very nice guy. I hope he sticks around on the show. So again, Keith, if you're watching the video, thanks so much for supporting me, and I hope this shout out brings you a lot of followers, because I told him how well the Derrick video did, and it would be great if like 5, 10, 50, how many thousands of you would do him a massive favor, not just a favor, but to show your love for Tyler Perry's cast members, to follow them on social media. So once again, the link to his Twitter and Instagram for Keith Burke is in the description below. Now on to the video itself. Now I know for a fact I've done at least 8 videos, if not 12 or more, on the character of Derrick himself, talking about his character, who he is he the guy with the lion tattoo, and all this and that. And also the video I did called Will Veronica Steal Hanna's Man, which is, I think, a couple thousand away from 100,000. So that just shows you how much you are intrigued by the character. And I let Keith know that, because these videos about him are doing extremely well, showing that even for a character who's only been in the show for, if I'm not mistaken, not even 10 episodes, is one of the most talked about characters. So that just shows you right there that us as fans have a lot of questions about this mysterious man. Now, I've already done videos about the lion tattoo, if he's Candace's father, but several of you have made valid points. I know over a dozen people have contacted me on social media asking the question, whoa. It's too obvious for Derrick to be the character. What if you flip it around, Jeremy? On this channel, you do a lot of what ifs and whatnot. And I gotta admit, I've done plenty of theory videos and whatnot, but I think it's been a while since I've done a what if. Maybe because I haven't titled my videos that. But basically, this what if or theory is going to be talking about, what if Derrick himself isn't the man with the lion tattoo? What if Derrick has a relative that was the guy that raped Hanna, the guy who's Candace's father? We're talking maybe a sibling, maybe he has like an older brother, or maybe even his father. Now, I have to admit that the theory of Derrick having a family member to be the one that actually committed the crime of rape on Hanna, it really is intriguing, because I remember when the first couple of people brought me the idea, I didn't brush it off, but whenever somebody sends me an idea on social media about a theory video concept, I think about it in my head in terms of, okay, this is an interesting theory, but can I make an entire what if or a video about it? If I do, or if I can, that's when I do a video. But it took me some real thinking and digging in order to create this concept, and this is why Keith is such a vital asset of this theory. So Keith, if you're watching, again, I hope you are, because I think you would want to hear this. the tweet you sent me in regards to, I think he even mentioned this to Derrick in a tweet in regards of, okay, so I know you have 3 college aged sons who all are hard workers and are playing sports, I believe. What if, there was a time where Derrick wanted to introduce Hanna to his, his sons, and then by extension they would meet Benny, maybe Candace, maybe. And then I know he responded, it's like, yeah, that would be a great idea. I think it was like a big happy family. And I got the screenshot of the tweet on the screen there so you can read it for yourself. I might have messed up some of the exact wording, but basically it's about bringing the families together. There are so many possible ways that Tyler Perry, and I just cannot stress how it's a bit frustrating when I watch the haves and the have-nots, because there's the Tyler Perry is, it's like there's God's way and there's what is your way, then there's God's way. It's kind of like there's Tyler Perry's way and how he writes the script, but then there's my way of how I mentally want the story to go, because there have been a lot of times where storylines will play out, character development and whatnot would go poorly based off how I perceived it to go. Amanda being killed off was one, and I already did a video talking about characters being dumbed down for the sake of plot, but personally speaking, I think that Tyler Perry has a very, very good way of writing Derrick and his family meeting with Hanna and her kids. I mean, there are so many what ifs that can go down this path, but I'll just cram it all into one video here because this will actually be very intriguing. So for one, we know that Derrick has 3 sons that are college age. So remember, Candace was in law school, Amanda was in law school. Jeffrey said he was like, what? 1 class or a couple of credits shy of getting his degree in psychology or counseling. And Benny, we can assume, due to the low income that Hanna had, he probably didn't go to school. It's more like high school, and he just started working right after. So we can assume that Derrick's sons are around the same age group as Benny, basically Hannah's kids, Jim and Catherine's children, and Jeffrey. So I don't know for sure if this could pan out this way, but what if there was one particular son of Derrick that hired an escort? Remember that back in the day, well, I say back in the day, let me just say that in haves and have-nots time, several months ago, Candace was an escort. Do you think it might have been possible that one of Derrick's sons hired Candace as an escort? I mean, to be fair, Candace's charge rate was ridiculously high. So it is possible that if Derrick's sons or one of them hired Candace to be an escort, it might have been a few months' pay. I don't know. I don't know. Who knows? Maybe he got a big refund from, student loans or something and decided to treat himself. Hey, all I'm saying is it's possible. But I think that'll be an interesting twist there. But I think that what if isn't very likely due to the fact that the main focus here is probably Derrick or one of his relatives being the one that raped Hanna and is Candace's father. And my mom, I told her about that theory and she was like, interesting, but that would be like Candace having sex with her half brother. And I was like, well, yeah, I didn't need to think about that, but that's probably how it would have went down. But I think the major theory here is, what if Derrick's father or brother was the one that raped Hanna? That actually would be an interesting concept there, because number one, we have been discussing over and over again on the channel about Derrick having a tattoo, him being pushy when it comes to having sex with Hanna. When will there be a scene where he takes his shirt off? It doesn't necessarily have to be in a sex scene. It makes sense because he's like a maintenance man, repairman, handyman. So one of these days he could be fixing like a sink, a garbage disposal, or he's doing something outside with the sprinklers and something happens and his shirt gets dirty or drenched and he has to take it off to get washed. And we see that he has to tattoo. I always thought it would have been a good idea if Hanna, Benny, or pretty much Hanna, Benny, or Candace, none of those 3 being the ones to see the tattoo first. Let it be somebody who doesn't know about the whole lion tattoo and the meaning behind it and why that has such importance to Hanna in her life. Have it be somebody like Veronica, because in the trailer for this back half of the season, I think that aired at the end of episode 10, so we're talking about the middle of March, that trailer showed us that Veronica was going to be putting the moves on Derrick. And that's why I did the video, will Veronica steal Hanna's man? So that led us to believe that, okay, if she's putting the moves on Derrick, is there a chance they'll have sex? That's going to happen in the next episode, guys. In the preview, it says that, Veronica's sitting in a seductive position with her night clothes on, and Derrick comes through the front door, presumably to fix something. And I know Veronica puts her arm around him, and I think she says something along the lines of, "You won't deny me." So people have been speculating that Derrick is working for Veronica to get at Hanna. That isn't a solid theory due to several reasons. Number one, Derrick said it early on that both Catherine and both Miss Cryer and Miss Harrington have been trying to set him up on dates for the past year. Basically, I believe Derrick said that his wife passed away about a year ago. So he's been a widower for about a year. That could explain why, he's a bit adamant about sex, because he probably hasn't had any in a year. With all the women that Veronica and Catherine have been trying to hook him up with, I'm assuming none of them went well due to the fact that Catherine was trying to push him on Hanna now. So the fact that the one thing I like about Derrick that's just hilarious is the fact that, hey, I'm a deacon and I want to go to church with you. And it's like, I want to pray for you, because when they went on the date, the club and Stephanie Mills was there. And guys, I don't know about y'all, but I'm still jamming out to her music. Never knew love like this before. I feel good all over. Home. I believe like Sinbad had this summer concert in like the 90s. I've been jamming to that. Her live performances are amazing. So check out Stephanie Mills on YouTube. I know I feel like I'm just plugging in a bunch of people, but they deserve it. They're awesome. But it's kind of funny how 1 minute Derrick is like, you know what, I want to pray for you, and I'm going to have some prayer. And next thing you know, it's like, yeah, let's go under the sheets. It's kind of like, whoa, that escalated quickly. But it's understandable why, because I've even talked about, if Derrick is the guy with the lion tattoo, it makes sense that he's in his third quarter, so to speak, of life. I think I said this in the Derrick is Candace's father video. When he says third quarter, is he referring to age in regards to like, ages 1 through 25, first quarter ages 26 to 50, second quarter, and now he's in his third quarter, being over the age of 50, and from wherever he is now to age 75? Or is that third quarter in regards to first part of his life was him being a wild man, a rapist, drunk, whatever you want to call it. Second part of his life is when he found a wife, calmed down, had kids. And then the third quarter is, my wife passed away, my sons are college age, so I'm pretty much in an empty nest, and I'm just trying to get my life together, and I'm speaking what's on my mind instead of bottling it up. So being somebody that goes after something that he wants, that actually does make more people believe he was the rapist. He saw Hanna, young girl, walking on the streets at night by herself. He wanted her, he pursued her, and then he raped her. Yeah, it doesn't look too good for Derrick, but it actually would be a great way of flipping the script for Tyler Perry to have us think that it's Derrick, give us all the signs, and then make him a red herring. I know that's a saying, but, as a kid born in 91, I know red herring the most from a pup named Scooby-Doo. When Fred and the gang, every time they were solving a mystery and it came down to listing off the suspects, he was like, I know who it was red herring. And it's kind of interesting how kids shows teach kids like those meanings and phrases, and then when we grow up we realize, hey, I learned this at an early age, so boom, there you go. But yeah, if Derrick is a red herring, that will be something that I didn't expect, and that will really be something that I'll add on to my top 10 WTF moments in the show. And if you haven't checked that out, I posted that video not too long ago, and looking at that video again, I realized there are at least 4 things I wish I put on the list that I didn't. But in any case, it would be great if we actually see Hanna warm up to Derrick. And I cannot express enough how much I love the scene of those two just sitting on the couch watching TV. When was the last time we seen Hanna this happy? I mean, we saw her happy when she found out Quincy Jr. was alive. She got custody of him. When her and Catherine kind of made amends after the whole your son hit my son thing. But to have her generally happy for herself, not having to worry about anybody else, like her own children and whatnot. This is something for Hanna to have, and I love it. But it really is burning me up on the inside, because it's like, this show has taught us so much. You can't trust anyone, because you can't take anybody for face value. Like somebody that seems like they mean well, that they have good intentions, they turn out to be two-faced. They got skeletons in the closet. They had a dirty past. Even Byron. Remember Byron from season 2? He was the guy that Jim hired to keep tabs on Hanna to see if she would go to the police with the information that Wyatt was the one that hit little Lizzie and Benny. And Hanna was actually falling for him when Michael was coming on to her, and she kind of pushed him to the side in favor of Byron, then found out Byron wasn't who he said he was via a phone call, and pretty much kicked him to the curb when he showed up to the welcome home Benny party at her house. And strangely enough, the next morning almost had sex with Michael until Benny walked in. And now all of a sudden she has this rule with Derrick that she's waiting until marriage to have sex. To be fair, we don't know how far her and Michael were going to go in bed that morning. But at the same time, it's kind of like, I don't know, plot, or maybe Hanna is just making a life change of her own. Who knows? It wouldn't surprise me if she has, as Jeffrey told Justin, a moment of weakness and gives in to Derrick. I could see that happening. I really could. But the major question is, in regards to Derrick now, is will he give in to Veronica? That's one thing. But I'll do a separate video on that because I really don't want to cram this video too much, but I'll put a couple theories here and there. But back to the major point of what if Derrick has a brother or a father that was the guy that raped Hanna. I think it would speak volumes to his character because, especially Hanna, let's say these two get to know each other well. Derrick isn't as adamant and aggressive, but Hanna at the same time isn't as guarded as she is now. Let's say that it really is hard for me to put an estimation on time because the haves and the have-nots has a bad habit of going incredibly slow in terms of pacing. Let's say that by the end of this season, which is going to be the end of July or early August, if I'm not mistaken, or we can just say, let's just theorize season 6. Let's just say in 2019, let's say when new episodes air in 2019, Hanna and Derrick are in a like stable relationship now. Derrick isn't as pushy. Hanna isn't as guarded. They're going out on a few dates. They're having fun. Then it's like, hey, I want you to meet my family. Okay, he brings the kids over, and then they meet, and maybe even Hanna talks about Candace. And what if it's one of those situations where Derrick is kind of like taking the whole marriage thing seriously in terms of, well, how about this? How about you meet my parents? And he introduces Hanna to his father or something like that, and she recognizes him based off facial features, or we see that he has a tattoo. I don't know how the tattoo gets revealed, but let me just put it this way. If Derrick has a brother or his father and they have the lion tattoo, I think the biggest character development would come from Hanna. Here's what I mean. If we see that Hanna has finally warmed up and accepted happiness in regards to Derrick as her man, it would really show what kind of person she is based off how she reacts to the news that Derrick has a family member that was the person that raped her and is the father of her daughter. What would she do? Would she instantly dump Derrick? She wouldn't want to have anything to do with him? Would it be one of those things where what's the term I'm looking for? You're guilty by association, like the fact that you're related to the man that raped me and whatnot. There's no way I'll forgive him. There's nothing I want to do. I want to have nothing to do with your family or you at all. What would that do to Hanna? The same question can be asked about David if he ever finds out the truth about Erica and he has feelings for her. How would he react finding out the truth that she was nothing but a con artist trying to scam him of all of his money? So when it comes to Hanna, I think this would be great for Tyler Perry to do in regards to either Derrick himself or one of his family members having the lion tattoo. Give us some real development. Like, you don't have to stretch it out for 3 seasons because as of, earlier this year or late 2017, that's when they said that the haves and have-nots is ending in 2020. So really, at the moment, I'm kind of confined to that deadline of when the show's going to end, unless Tyler Perry takes it over to a Viacom network like BET. We can just assume that as of right now, 2020 is when it's all going to be said and done. So I would like that. I would like the rest of this season to be Derrick and Hanna slowly getting into a relationship. But then it's revealed that either Derrick himself or one of his family members has the lion tattoo. Then we'll see how Hanna reacts. Would she just cast aside Derrick and want to have nothing to do with him? Kind of like the whole Tony situation. Tony came back into her life, via Benny to go on that date back in season 1. And we know that he never paid child support or anything, but she really wanted nothing to do with him. It's kind of like, you weren't there to help me raise our son, so I don't need you now, and Benny doesn't need you either. So I figure the same thing might be applied to Candace's father, but the only difference there is that Candace's father has a major emotional impact on the person that Hanna is today because of what happened when she was younger. So I think the drama could be dialed up to a 15 when he steps into the picture. It would really show what kind of person Hanna is in her moment of weakness. What would Derrick do to support her? Like, how would he try to explain the situation? Would he know something about it? There are just so many ways Tyler Perry could take this potential plot point and roll with it, because you also bring up the fact that not just Hanna, but what about Candace? If she finds out, will she not give a damn about who her father is? I also find it interesting, and this is another, Derrick might be the guy. Remember way back in, I think, episode 1 of this season, when Jim was like mere seconds away from meeting Erica face to face. I think she went into the kitchen while Jim was knocking at the door. And when Jim kept begging David to see this girl, he was like, you'll see, you'll see, not now, but soon. Not now, but soon. And Jim was like, okay. And people were saying that what if Jim and Erica met at some point before, like Erica was an escort and Jim hired her. You never know. So the same thing applies with Candace, because remember, Derrick left the house a couple of minutes before Candace was knocking at the door. So people keep asking, well, Derrick can't be the guy, because remember, Hanna was like, she could see the eyes and nose of her rapist in Candace's face, and she's seen Derrick plenty of times face to face and hasn't said a thing. But we have yet to see Candace and Derrick on screen together. And if we saw them together, I'll try to put a picture on the screen face to face. Do you see any similarities? I mean, you let me know in the comments. I'm not really a facial structure kind of guy. So, yeah, it would be very interesting to see. And there's just, I don't know, if it's Derrick, if it's his father, if he has a brother, if one of his sons met up with Candace when she was an escort. My gosh. I'm going to throw another theory out there. To be fair, we never knew. Well, Derrick never said what his sons went to school for. Could it be possible that one of his sons went to law school and he went to the same school as Amanda and Candace and then met Candace there? Who knows? Remember, I know a lot of people have forgotten about this because this plot point, we haven't seen Candace step foot in school since like season 2 when she met Professor Cannon, who was warning her about keeping Amanda away from him and his family. And he passed her that letter that was like, hey, you can take the bar exam, and if you pass it, you're a lawyer. Here's my letter that tells the people that, hey, this student, Candace Young, is so amazing in the classroom that she is able to take the bar, and if she passes it, boom, she's a lawyer. I'm just saying, we don't know how big that school was. And I remember that Amanda was living on campus, but then moved off campus with Candace. So it is possible that maybe one of Derrick's sons went to law school. Maybe he was in Professor Cannon's class. Tyler Perry could do so much with this. I'm telling you, it is so amazing. But to round things out, I think that we're going to find out who the guy with the lion tattoo is this season. I think without a doubt by the end. Let's see, it is 1, 2, 3. I think we have about maybe 7 or 8 episodes left in this particular season of the series. So I believe that by the end of this season, we're going to find out who has the lion tattoo. Will we find out next Tuesday when Derrick's over at Veronica's house? I don't know. Will he have sex with Veronica? I don't know. I mean, you have to look at it from the fact that he is kind of a sex hound right now. I mean, allegedly not as much as David, according to Erica, who said, like, I've had sex with you more in this week than I've ever had in my life. And then we know Derrick is, pretty much wanting to get into bed. So is it one of those situations? Because, it's like they say, a man will only take no so many times from a woman before he goes to another woman who will say yes. So Veronica's going to throw him a bone. Is he going to pick it up with his teeth? We'll just have to wait and see. But with that being said, if you have any ideas or concepts about Derrick, his character, his possible family members being linked to Hanna and her kids in some way, shape, or form, let me know in the comment section below. Do you agree with any of my theories, or do you have anything to stretch him out about Candace possibly being an escort for one of Derrick's sons being in law school with Amanda and Candace, Derrick having a brother or his father being the man that raped Hanna and is the father of Candace? How do you think Hanna would react to finding out that either Derrick or one of his relatives was the one that raped her when she was younger? How do you think Candace will react to discovering who her father is? And also, I'm out of breath here because it's a lot to take in. Benny being overprotective is annoying, but maybe it's one of those things where we don't realize it now, but Benny being defensive is actually something that's helping out his mother without her knowing it, because that's the guy that raped her. So many things that Tyler Perry can do with this. So with that being said, thank you all so much for listening. I know this was a longer video than I even anticipated it to be. Keith Burke, again, awesome guy. He has my seal of approval. Go follow him on social media. The links to his Twitter and Instagram are in the description below. Again, down-to-earth guy, very cool to talk to. And I love it when, I think it was like Antoinette Robertson, aka Melissa, Oscar, I cannot pronounce his last name to save my life, the guy that portrayed Vinny. They are just a few examples of the awesome cast members I speak with on social media. Antoinette, I haven't spoken with her recently. Like, I'm not, like, hey, that's my best friend. I mean, I'd like to get to know her, but she is definitely busy promoting Dear White People Season 2, still going on press tours and whatnot. If you haven't checked it out, amazing. Season 2 was great. Even Jacqueline, aka Amanda Cryer, she was in the final episode of season 2, I think in like the opening minutes, but darn it, I'm just glad to see her on some sort of show again, because I've missed Amanda. But in any case, I love it when these people that I am honored and privileged to even speak to, because to me, these are people who are obviously, in the working world of Hollywood, Atlanta, wherever, they're filming. So to have them take time to either like one of my posts or tweet, comment, or in Keith's case, actually reach out to me on Instagram in my, just private messaging about how much he appreciates me supporting his character as well as the show. It's like, whoa, you have no idea what it means for me to be hearing from you, because it's just like, I've talked with every cast member of the show that's had a major role, except for Tyler Perry. Well, to be fair, he has been in the show, but Tyler Perry's the only one. But I'm going to tell you this right now, and I mean, people have been telling me for years, like, yo, you don't know if Tyler Perry has been watching your stuff, because look at the fact that all these cast members have been talking with you, retweeting your videos, retweeting your blogs. It's got to be reaching him somehow. And then other people are like, Jeremy, you know what? You're ruining the show because you come up with all these theories. Word probably gets back to Tyler Perry. And then because you predicted everything, he ends up rewriting the script or changing things around. I don't know. That'll be pretty interesting. Other people are like, Tyler Perry should put you on a payroll. I'm going to be honest here. That will be incredible. But here's my thing with this. My goals for YouTube, and Keith, if you're listening, I hope you're writing this down. Number one, my goal is to reach 100,000 subscribers so I can get that silver play button award plaque, because for me, that will be a rite of passage in my mind. I mean, we're about to hit 30,000 subscribers. That's not a small feat, especially in today's time when everybody and his mother is doing videos. But I just picked something that nobody else was really doing as much as I wanted to, because there are other YouTube channels like Ashley Miller has a fantastic YouTube channel. I think she's about like at 53 or 53,000 or more subscribers. The way she does episodes reviews like Queen Sugar, Love and Hit, she does a bunch of shows, not just one, and I admire that. When I looked at a few of her have and have not episode reviews. I love her style. It's so laid back and chill. You could just tell she's being herself. Me, on the other hand, I have a different style because I like dissecting every bit of it. That's why this channel is called the Haves and Have Not Review, because I pretty much break down all these elements. So everybody has different ways of doing things. Like, if I did more shows, I would probably get more subscribers, but I'd rather do one thing well than spread myself too thin, because if I did that, I'm pretty sure I wouldn't be able to do as many in-depth have and have not discussions as I do. But Love Is, which airs on the 19th, I believe, that show actually looks pretty good. I can't wait to watch that. And based off how well it does, based off how well I enjoy the first episode, I'll definitely do videos on that. It seems like the kind of show where I can just do thought videos as instead of just theories, because it's based off, real life Hollywood married couple. But in any case, I just want to say that number one, my goal is 100,000 subscribers. Number two, even though it would be awesome, I would love to hear from Tyler Perry, either through a tweet, email, comment on my video. It would be when I first started doing the blogs and whatnot, it was all about getting the attention of him. But now it seems like, you know what? Let me just put it this way. This YouTube channel, my Facebook page, the Twitter, the Instagram, that's all have and have not related, which I'll have links to in the description below, of course. That's kind of like my cake, because I'm a full-time YouTuber. This is how, I pay my bills and put money in my account. Full-time YouTuber. So I got my cake. Meeting Tyler Perry, speaking with Tyler Perry or whatever, that's the icing on the cake, And then, of course, speaking with all the stars of the show, cast members and whatnot, who take the time to either respond to my tweets and Instagram posts, that's like the sprinkles. The cherry on top would be getting an invite to Tyler Perry Studios to meet with him personally, or having the privilege of doing like a live stream with one of the cast members, just having like a Q&A session and open discussion. Hey, Keith, I don't know if this can happen, but if we can make it happen, I would love to have a live stream with you, on YouTube, basically just talking about your character on the show, asking questions, open discussions. What is it like entering a show that's in its like 5th year of running, when there's already a well-established cast? Hey, I'm telling you, I know you want more followers and whatnot. I think one of the best ways to do that is if you come on the channel so we can have a conversation. We can do like a Skype or a Google Hangout live stream. Let me know, and you hit me up on Instagram or Twitter. Let me know if that interests you, and we can make it happen. But yeah, my goals for the channel is definitely hitting that 100,000 subscriber count. Having Tyler Perry interact with me in some way, shape, or form. I mean, it doesn't have to happen. Like I said before, I'm doing good. I think I feel like when I started this channel on my blog, I tried to reach Mount Everest. I wanted to climb the top of Mount Everest way too fast before I was ready. But my main goal, that's why it's number one, to hit 100,000 subscribers. I want to build such a big audience that people will come to me rather than me having to tweet them like every Tuesday or whatever. You see what I mean there? I want to make an audience so strong that if it gets the attention of a Tyler Perry or Tyler Perry Studios, it's like, hey man, this guy over here, he's just a big fan who's been doing his own thing for a while, and he has quite the following. His videos are in depth. That's the one thing I didn't want to do when I started this YouTube. Anybody and their mother can do an episode review or episode recap, but I wanted to do something nobody else was doing, which was dissecting things, making predictions, going 5 or 6 episodes ahead with theories. That's the main purpose of this video. Well, not just this video, but this channel. So, wow, I did not mean to go on that long with my speech there, but overall, I just wanted to give a huge thank you to everyone who has supported the channel thus far. Have and have not cast member or dedicated fan like myself. Definitely check out Keith's social media. Please go over there, follow him, subscribe, tweet him, let him know your thoughts on the Derrick character. Keith, also, if you're listening, one thing I am afraid about is most of the have and have not cast members that have been frequently speaking with me in the past, whether it be Jennifer, Maggie Day, those characters tend to die quicker than others. It's like I found there's been a pattern. Anytime I've been frequently in contact with a member of the show, they end up dying. And the fact that you're able to message me so much, and I love it. I hope that's not a sign that you'll be dying soon or being written off the show. So with that being said, guys, maybe we can go on his Twitter and whatnot, tag Tyler Perry and be like, yo, don't let Derrick die. Don't let him do it. So with that being said, thanks so much for tuning into this video. Again, I did not mean for it to get off the track at the end, but it's always fun to have open discussion. So follow Keith, show him some love. Let me know your thoughts on my various Derrick theories in the comment section below. And yeah, I'll probably do some more research over the next day or two, and I'll probably get a video out there about Veronica and Derrick, and if Derrick will submit to her advances. So thanks so much for tuning in. Subscribe if you haven't done so already. Share this video around. Now I think this will definitely get some conversations going, and I'll talk to you soon.